Okay. So next important unit operation is about disinfection. This is very simple. That is none of the treatment systems what we have discussed so far will not remove or destruct the disease-causing organisms or pathogens. So now we have to plan after treatment. You have to plan like killing or sometimes is destruction of all pathogenic or disease-causing organisms. Okay, yeah. So now we are here, disinfection. Okay, so this we have started with rapid mixing, flocculation, sedimentation, filtration. Now we are here. Okay, so water which is coming from filter or filtered water doesn't contain lot of solids, but there could be a possibilities of some amount of pathogenic organisms. Pathogenic organisms that I have to kill, and there could be a possibilities of future contamination also. Okay, after supply. Okay, there could be during transportation of treated water to the consumers. There could be a possibilities of future contamination. So what I do, I may provide a disinfection, disinfectants or disinfection activity. Thereby, it will kill all the pathogens here, and also it will not allow the future contamination. It will not allow the pathogens to grow in during transportation also. Is it okay? Yeah. So process of killing microorganisms are called disinfection, and whatever the chemical you add, that are disinfectants. Okay. And if I do, probably you could also notice here, if I do disinfection before the start of treatment, that is called pre-chlorination. If I do chlorination at the end of the treatment option, that is called post-chlorination. Or otherwise, this is if I do either one, that is called single chlorination. If it is being used both the chlorination at pre and post, that is called double chlorination. Is it okay? Pre, post. Okay, one either pre or post, that is called single chlorination, and if it is being used 2 times, that is called double chlorination. Is it okay? And one more, if it is been added extra plus extra value to take care of your future contamination, that is called super chlorination. Okay, that are the concepts. That is pre, post, single, double, super, and dechlorination. Okay, once I do super chlorination at the supply point, I have to reduce the disinfection activity. Pre-chlorination, post-chlorination, single, double, and super chlorination. And if I use super chlorination, then I have to devise some mechanisms to dechlorinate it. So that process called as dechlorination. Is it okay? So that is that we are going to discuss in detail. Is it fine? So process of killing all pathogenic microorganisms are called disinfection. And what are the chemical agents or other agents you may use it for, that is disinfectant. Disinfections can be carried out as pre, post, single, double, super, and dechlorination. That's all. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
We'll see simple definitions, and the variety of pathogenic organisms capable of transmitting the fecal oral route may found in raw water sources, because raw water also contain lot of microorganisms. So during the runoff, it will also take away a lot of fecal contamination to the raw water sources. Okay, and there could be a lot of waterborne outbreaks. You would have heard about Shigellosis, Salmonellosis, and cholera. Okay, these are some of the waterborne outbreaks. If it is water is being contaminated with microbial sediments or microbial agents, there could be a waterborne diseases. Okay? And amongst bacteria, Salmonella, Shigella, and Vibrio cholerae. So please make a note on these 3 organisms are important. Salmonella is for Salmonellosis, Shigella is for Shigellosis, and Vibrio cholerae, it is for cholera disease. Okay? So these organisms are capable of causing severe infections that could reach endemic proportions. Endemic proportions if it is not being controlled properly. Endemic and also pandemic would have familiar. Okay? So endemic may be of so generated disinfection. You have any problems in a pond, okay, and those who are depending on that pond water, they may get a lot of infections. But pandemic is not like that. So corona, they would have heard about the term pandemic. Okay? Irrespective of your source, you may also get infected or what. Okay? So these are endemic proportions. Okay? To reach endemic proportions, that is a particular source. If you are depending on with a particular source, you may get a disease like endemic diseases like this. Okay? Yeah. So So please be familiar on waterborne diseases. Number one, typhoid fever, paratyphoid, diarrhea, and also cholera. So these are bacterial infections. And there could be a viral infections as well, hepatitis and rotavirus diarrhea. And the parasitic, it is about amoebiasis. So please make a note down. These are most common waterborne diseases. So typhoid fever, paratyphoid, and bacterial diarrhea, and cholera, and viral disinfection. Viral waterborne diseases are hepatitis and rotavirus diarrhea, and parasitic infections are amoebiasis. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So disinfection definition is the process designed for the reduction of number of pathogens or microorganisms. Please make a note of. So the main objective is to remove or kill or disease-causing organisms. That's objective. Disease-causing organisms. Okay. There could be a destructions in coagulation as well as filtration as well. Okay, but but it is not their own primary goal. Please make a note of. But coagulation is meant for other purpose, and filtration is also meant for other purpose. But it may not take care your removal of pathogens. There could be a considerable reduction in pathogenic destruction, but their primary duty, coagulation or the filtration's primary duty is not destruction or retention of bacteria. Okay, yeah. So these are the advantages of disinfection. One is about destruction, and it will also improve the microbial quality. Okay, please make a note of disinfection. Not only destruct the bacteria or pathogens, it will also improve your microbiological quality of water. Okay. And this also sometimes maintain the water quality in the long distribution lines. That's what I told you. Okay, if it is after treatment, and you may also add chlorine or chlorine dioxide as disinfectant, it will take care of your future contamination. That's something is important. It helps to maintain the water quality in long distribution lines and reticulation systems. These are the type of disinfections or modes of disinfections. Number one is physical process. Normally, physical process includes separation and filtration. Probably would have come across some physical retention techniques in rural areas. They may fetch water in a pond, okay, and overnight they'll keep it, okay, in a vessel, okay. That corresponds to sedimentation activity or gravity separation. And next day morning they'll take a cloth and filter the water, okay, filter the water, and that resembles your filtration action or filtration role, and which will retain all the bacteria and virus and also protozoan cyst. Is it okay? So very simple way is by gravity separation and filtration. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The second one is you may also use physical agents, including like heating, or you can use irradiation. Heating also irradiation. So heating water by boiling or solar energy in small transparent containers, or otherwise is you can use UV light. You can use UV light. It's only you can heating and UV radiations are possible only for a water with a smaller quantity. Imagine our situation for a mega city. If you want to supply 10 million liters of water, it is very, very difficult. It is not possible to heat the water and supply to the consumers. Or if you have a UV UV disinfection system and supply to the consumers, so it is very difficult. Okay, yes, and this the concentrated UV light as a mode of disinfection for drinking water is gaining popularity and has been proven is very, very effective in the inactivation of microorganisms. Most of the household treatment options you would have seen, like the microfilters or nanofilters or reverse osmosis unit, okay, whatever they use it in the household level, they should also have the disinfection chamber at the back of your filtration units. Okay, so for a smaller quantity, a UV disinfection will be better. That will inactivate all your bacteria completely. That's what now the famous companies they claim that if you take a filtered water from a particular filtration unit, you need not treat or you need not boil the water also. It will retain all the microorganisms by its own. Okay, or sometimes it may also remove all the bacteria by UV light irradiation techniques. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please make a note on heating and irradiation. That is good for small scale supply systems, but not for a bigger mega city supply units. Okay, and you can also use chemical agents. Okay, chemical agents. These are the variety of chemicals is being used. Number one, chlorine gas. Okay, number one, chlorine gas. Number two is calcium hypochlorite. Number three is sodium hypochlorite. Number four, chlorine dioxide. Number five, monochloramine. Number six, ozone. Number seven, hydrogen peroxide. Number eight, potassium permanganate. Number nine, the iodine and also bromine. Is it okay? So these are the different combination of chemicals you can use. Chlorine-based chemicals and chlorine dioxide, monochloramine, and ozone. You would have heard about ozone disinfection techniques, and or you can use strong oxidizing agents like hydrogen peroxide. In a rural, say example, water supply system, they may use potassium permanganate, and you can also use iodine and also bromine. These are the chemical agents. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so these are different methods, minor methods of disinfection: boiling with water, boiling of water, treatment with excess lime, and treatment with ozone, and treatment with iodine and bromine, treatment with UV light, treatment with potassium permanganate, and treatment with silver. Okay, these are the different minor methods of disinfection. Okay, boiling, probably would have heard about. Okay, it will completely destroy all your pathogenic bacteria, but it will not take or will not take care of your future contamination. Imagine our situation. You may boil water for daily consumption. Okay, and if you are using with your raw hand for taking out a water, taking care of your water, taking out the water from a bowl or from a container, there could be a possibility of future contamination as well. Okay, please make a note on it. It will instantly kill all your microorganisms, but it is sometimes is difficult to take care of your future contamination. That is one effect. But for a small scale supply system is fine, but larger scale boiling of huge amount of water for public water supply system is very, very difficult. Is it okay? Thereby, this method is not being used for disinfecting public water supply systems. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Next one is about treatment with excess lime. Okay, addition of lime. If you add lime in terms of 14 to 43 milligram per liter, okay, and it will also kill all your bacteria to a level of 99 to 100%. 99 to 100%. So if you add lime into the water, it will become extremely alkaline, and this extremely alkaline conditions is detrimental to the survival of microorganisms, thus killing all your bacteria partially and also completely. Is it okay? So you can add lime in the range of 14 to 43 milligram per liter, and it will become, water will become alkaline. This alkaline situation is completely detrimental for the survival of bacteria. Thereby, it will kill completely or partially. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Third one is another important fact is about it will also increase. The main problem is if I add lime into the water, pH of the water will be raised. Okay, but with the elevated pH, I may not supply to the consumers. And before consumer supply, I have to reduce the pH by simply going with the recarbonization technique for the removal of lime. Is it okay? If I add lime into the water, pH will rise, and my purpose will be solved because it will kill all your pathogens. But I cannot supply to the supply the water to the consumers because pH is very high. Then I reduce the pH by purging carbon dioxide to the system. That you can remember simply as recarbonization. You can add carbon dioxide to the system, thereby pH of the treated water will come down, okay, or will be minimized. Okay, and also this method cannot sometimes is protect the water with a future contamination. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Treatment with ozone, probably would have come across. Ozone is this very strong oxidizing agent. Ozone is not stable in the because of the instability. It will also releases oxygen and also nascent oxygen. This nascent oxygen may have a lot of roll-on, or it also has a lot of disinfection activity. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Ozone production is very easy because this ozone can be produced by passing high tension electric current through a stream of air in a closed chamber. Production is very easy. You can also create on site without any difficulty. Because of ozone is unstable, ozone readily breaks down to a normal oxygen and the nascent oxygen. And the nascent oxygen is this very powerful oxidizing agent, remove all the organic matter and bacteria from water. Please make a note on this nascent oxygen sometimes kill all your pathogenic organisms. So some of the advantages here, ozone is unstable, and thereby whatever you apply, nothing will be remains in water. And ozone sometimes removes color and taste also because it's a strong oxidizing agent. And ozonized water become tasty and pleasant, unlike chlorinated water. These are some of the advantages. Okay, so it will impart the taste to the water. These are some of the advantages with using ozone as a disinfectant. Okay. You can also use iodine and also bromine to kill all your microorganisms. It is easy to apply because it will be available in the form of small tablets, small tablets, and it is all easy to carry also. So most of the cases in, say example, the army troops, they may carry iron and bromine tablets. Whenever the water, say example in an elevated level like in a mountain, you need not worry about much with solids. Only the difficulty is about your disinfection. They may add iodine and also bromine tablets and leave it some time, and all your pathogens will be killed. You can use it directly. So you can also use it in swimming pools as well. Okay. So these are some of the advantages with treatment with iodine and also bromine. And you can also use UV lights. UV lights, UV simple UV light is again electromagnetic radiation with a wavelength of 400 nanometer to 100 nanometer, shorter than your visible rays. And you can use these UV lights. You can also pass with the water several times. This water, the UV lights normally is good enough to kill all your microorganisms. Okay, these are some of the these you would have seen in your household activities as well. Okay, small scale UV disinfection systems. You can allow the water to pass multiple times with the UV light. So because of these UV disinfections, all your microorganisms will be completely being removed or eradicated. Okay, and you can use potassium permanganate. Potassium permanganate is rated as a primary disinfectant. And if it is something like on in rural areas, you can use this chemical, potassium permanganate. But problem with the potassium permanganate is it will induce color, pink color. It will induce pink color. That's the only difficulty. Other than that, potassium permanganate is being used widely in rural water supply systems. And silver is electrode. You can have a silver electrode. You can pass current with the DC supply of 1.5 volts. Okay, this induced ions, silver ions, may have a lot of germicidal action. Okay, these are now very common. You can carry these electrodes, and whenever you get a water, and drop the electrodes in the water bottle or sometimes in the glass of water, and you can make sure that all your bacteria or pathogens are completely being eradicated or removed. Is it okay? So these are different minor methods of the disinfection activities, and one more class we will see something on the chlorine chemistry, and with that we'll close the disinfection process. Is it fine?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Thank you for